Okay, shalom, shalom. Real quick, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukai HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone who still teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered amongst the four corners of the earth. Today's date is July 6, 2026. So, we just had the 250th year of this occupation, this Edomite occupation here known as America, right? So earlier over the weekend, Elon Musk said something about, mind you, he's a so-called South African, right? So he's not even from here, but mind you, he said something about to the extent of people who are considered traitors are beneath contempt, all right, in terms of like American homeborn American citizens, all right? So I asked ChatGPT, like, how does, because Elon Musk is he's a part of this new world neotech world ran by the Edomites, the Rothschilds, right? And he's a puppet for the Rothschilds, just like Mark Hamilton is. So I don't own ChatGPT, and I posed this question to ChatGPT. How does Elon Musk saying traitors are beneath contempt similar to Mark Hamilton's neo-cheater concept of his Neovia world? In this video, I'm going to put in the description box the video itself, if I can find it. It says Elon Musk's statement on X that anyone who doesn't love America is a traitor and beneath contempt shares core conceptual similarities with Mark Hamilton's neo-cheater concept in his Neotech Neovia philosophy. Both ideologies outline a framework where specific actors actively subvert a foundational ideal system from within, rendering them the ultimate, which is self-descriptive of these Edomites, as the ultimate antagonist. The two concepts intersect across several structural, philosophical, and behavioral dimensions. Bullet point 1, subversion of the foundation or the betrayal. Musk's traitor concept in Musk's world view, the ideal state is a prosperous, free market America driven by absolute national loyalty. A traitor is anyone who actively criticizes the core nation, works against its national or political interest, or hates the foundational system while living within it. Mark Hamilton's bullet point, neo-cheater point, is in Hamilton's fictional and philosophical Neovia, the ideal world of next generation civilization. The foundation is built on rational, value producing, and self-made individuals who pretends to be a value producer but actually seeks to destroy, leech off of, or subvert the system's foundational values for personal power. And that's what these Edomites do, pursuing here to John 10:10, which reads, bear with me, I'm trying to find it. Here we go. John 10:10, the thief cometh not before to steal and to kill and to destroy. All right, so that's what these Edomites have done, and that's the beginning of this occupation known as America. All right, and that's what Esau Edom does all over the world. So Esau Edom likes to, there's a scripture that says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. So these Edomites their talking points are talking as if they're not talking about themselves. That's exactly who they're talking about. All right, dude. All right, bullet point 2. Parasitism versus value production. Now the Edomites, the elites, are the parasites, and us Israelites are the value production. Remember the scriptures say, who made no account of his labors. So all slave labor. The first 200-300 years of America was absolute slave labor and still is to this day. All right, so Musk's viewpoint is Musk views political adventurers, bureaucratic forces, and anti-American critics as individuals who contribute nothing to the country's real-world progression, yet actively drain its resources and diminish its global stature. That's what the Edomites do, man. Reading on, it says they are beneath contempt because they lack genuine solutions but survive off the system they criticize. And that's what these Edomites do, but I digress. Moving on, Mark Hamilton's view, in Neovia, neo-cheaters are defined explicitly as mystics, elitists, There you go, dude. And career politicians who do not produce real wealth or scientific advancement. Instead, they use trickery, emotional manipulation, and fabricated authority to control and exploit the actual wealth producers. So we're the wealth producers as Israelites, right? And Esau Edom does that. He does the trickery and the emotional manipulation to, get wealth and steal from us. Bullet point 3, you have exposing hypocrisy and virtue signaling. Elon Musk's criticism when defending his harsh rhetoric. Musk has stated that his deepest contempt is reserved for those who prioritize the appearance of goodness over the reality of it, accusing critics of virtue signaling without offering functional answers. Now, Mark Hamilton's criticism is the cornerstone of a neo-cheater's power in Hamilton's literature is illusion and prestige. Neo-cheaters survive by feigning moral superiority and create complex, unneeded regulations to appear helpful while actually strangling human progress. And that's what they're doing with all this technology. And they're going to continue to do it until we get to that point of Revelation chapter 13, verses 5, which talking about the mark of the beast to the east. All right. So let me just grab that real quick. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15 to 17, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, that's the AI, artificial intelligence, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So through this Palantir super surveillance state that we're in, they're going to use it to try to build a dossier on people and put us in all of us in two categories. One, those of us who will be willing to take the mark of the beast, which Lord willing, I will not want to do that. And then the other category is people who are going to be deemed a problem and they can tell will not take the mark of the beast. All right. So back to the ChatGPT bullet point 4, it's binary division and purification, which is exile versus eradication. The ultimate penalty is both frameworks arrive at a harsh binary solution for dealing with these subversives. Okay, I'm sorry, let me start that as a tongue twister. Both frameworks arrive at a harsh binary solution for dealing with these subversives. Musk explicitly calls for these individuals to be exiled immediately. Now that's just like in the mark of the beast. Let me go back to that real quick. And he causeth all, both small and great. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now listen to this point. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So no man can buy or sell. And remember, I told you, you got Elon Musk with his Neuralink. You got China with the Neo brain chip. Mark Hamilton's Neovia, Neotech, Neothink writings. The word neo means new. That's the etymology of the word. And last year you had Elon Musk do that whole Sieg Heil salute during the time of, Hitler, during the neo-Nazi era, neo-Nazi era. And then you had Stephen Miller do that, recite that, some of those words from the Third Reich that was under Adolf Hitler, during that neo-Nazi era. All right, so that was the ultimate penalty was from Mark Hamilton's perspective. Now you have, from Elon Musk's perspective. Now you have the one from Mark Hamilton's perspective, which they're both one and the same. They both speak on behalf of the Rothschilds. The evolution of Neovia. In Hamilton's Neo-Think framework, the transition to the ideal world of Neovia requires completely exposing and stripping neo-cheaters of their institutional power. Once their illusions are dispelled by rational thinking, they lose their grip on society and are functionally neutralized from the new civilization. So basically, anyone who doesn't want to, that's like an elaborate way the Edomites are saying, if you don't comply and submit yourself to their will and their world rule, you'll be exiled and or eradicated. All right, dude. Reading on, it says, ultimately, both Musk and Hamilton classify traitors and neo-cheaters not merely as people with dissenting opinions, but as but as existential parasitic threats who deliberately compromise the survival and efficiency of a grander system. So basically, if you don't comply with these fucking Edomites, you're going to get in trouble, right? So that's what they mean, which goes right in tandem with Revelation chapter 13, 9, and 10. And then I turn around and pose this question in regards to both of Elon Musk's standpoint about, traders being beneath contempt and Mark Hamilton's neo-cheater philosophy, right? Mind you, I don't own ChatGPT, so this is the question that I posed to ChatGPT. And how are both talking points, meaning Mark Hamilton and Elon Musk, similar to Revelation 13, the mark of the beast? Here's what it said. The connection between Elon Musk's traitor rhetoric and Mark Hamilton's neo-cheater concept and the biblical imagery of the mark of the beast in Revelation 13 lies in their structural reliance on absolute binary division. Binary division meaning like how the elites of this world want to ultimately have people submit themselves before them people, And this is another one right here. Let me start over from the top. The connection between Elon Musk's traitor rhetoric, Mark Hamilton's neo-cheater concept, and the biblical imagery of the mark of the beast to the east in Revelation 13 lies in their structural reliance on absolute binary division. Economic gatekeeping. That's what the elites are doing. They're gatekeeping. They're using Palantir to gatekeep who gets to stay in society, who seems more likely to take the mark of the beast willingly, and then those who oppose to be exiled or done away with. Reading on, it says, economic gatekeeping and forced loyalty to a dominant ideology. All right, which both Elon Musk and Mark Hamilton are the spokesmen and the puppet heads for the Rothschilds, which are the Edomites, the elite banking families, and the Oppenheimers, and the Sassoons, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts. There's a good chance that both Musk and Hamilton are both fucking Amalekites. We know that they're Edomites, but there's a good chance that they're fucking Amalekites. Reading on, it says, while Revelation 13 is a theological prophecy and the others are philosophical, political frameworks, all three utilize the same psychological and structural mechanisms to define who belongs to the system and who is targeted for exclusion. All right, here's bullet point 1, totalitarian compliance and loyalty testing. Revelation 13 in this aspect is the passage describes a system where everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, is forced to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead as an explicit sign of allegiance to the beast, which are the Edomites over there in Great Britain, over in Europe. Now here are the parallels to Revelation 13. From Musk's traitor standpoint, right? Demands a binary test of absolute national loyalty. Those who fail to demonstrate this loyalty are banded traitors. You see there? It's the same setup as the mark of the beast in Revelation 13. And they'll be stripped of their status and slated for immediate exile or deportation, right? To like a concentration camp or one of their like underground torture fucking facilities or whatever, because Edomites are gross, they're cannibals too. Now, in terms of Mark Hamilton's neo-cheater aspect, in reference to Revelation 13 about the mark of the beast, it says it focuses on the inversion of this dynamic. In Hamilton's worldview, the existing ruling class, the neo-cheaters, forces compliance through mandatory institutional regulations, taxation, and state-sanctioned beliefs, punishing those who try to think or produce independently outside their grid. See, trying to think for yourself and be independent and not subject your mind and your total salute to these Edomites. It's the same thing. Now, bullet point 2 is the economic versus the social gatekeeping, which is the buying and selling aspect of Revelation 13. So now it's going to compare all three, right? So for the first bullet point, it's talking about Revelation 13, which says the ultimate enforcement mechanism of the beast is economic. No one could buy or sell unless he had the mark. It is a mechanism of total survival level control. Now, the parallels to this, which is true, the parallels to this, let's start with Elon Musk's framework, labeling political or ideological opponents as beneath contempt and calling for their exile functionally strips them of their civil liberties, economic participation, and right to exist within the national marketplace. You know, it's the same shit, dude. All right, now from Hamilton's framework about the neo-cheater, right? Hamilton explicitly argues that neo-cheaters use the government, central banking, and occupational licensing to create a monopolistic grid. If you do not play by the neo-cheaters' rules or submit to their external authority, you are systematically locked out of economic prosperity. And the thing is that Mark Hamilton and the Rothschilds, they are the neo-cheaters. They're just perpetrating like they're not, all right? I remember the scriptures say this here in Ecclesiasticus, or also known as Sirach, chapter 12. Let me see where I can find it real quick. Bear with me. Yeah, the point is here, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart, meaning his mind, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. That's Esau. He's the most bloodiest man out here, dude. All right. So back to the Chat GPT here. Now the third bullet point is of all three: Revelation 13, Revelation chapter 13, Mark Hamilton's neo-cheater thought pattern of the Rothschilds, and then Elon Musk's traitor thought pattern of the Rothschilds in terms of deception and fabricated authority, which is virtue signaling versus miracles. Revelation 13, the second beast, the false prophet, which is the Rothschilds with their RFID microchip and their false miracles with their artificial intelligence. They deceive the inhabitants of the earth by performing great signs and miracles, using an illusion of divine power to make the world worship the first beast. All right. And they do that. You know what I'm saying? That's the same concept that they even used in The Wizard of Oz. Remember, I told you back in 1933. You know, Esau Edom is the man behind the curtain, like pulling all the strings with all this artificial intelligence and this planetary shit, trying to see more grandiose than what he is. It's just an illusion. All right. So from Musk's view of traders being parallel to Revelation 13, the 13th chapter, which is exactly what it is, Musk frequently argues that modern traders or bureaucratic or elites use the illusion of morality or virtue signaling. Let me start over. Musk frequently argues that modern traders or bureaucratic elites use the illusion of morality or virtue signaling, corporate ESG matrix, or political correctness to hide their destructive anti-progress agendas. That's what they do, you see. Now from Hamilton's standpoint, Hamilton's view of neo-cheaters, this aligns perfectly with Hamilton's definition of a neo-cheater. They survive entirely on mysticism and prestige, using complex language, what did I just read in Sirach, legal jargon, which is what Mark Hamilton and Elon Musk use, and any other puppet for the elites. Legal jargon and moral superiority to trick the population into giving up their freedom. See, they're going to do it with this market, m0tb. Now, the fourth bullet point is the binary separation of humanity, the ultimate convergence. All three frameworks are present a stark, uncompromising division of society into two absolute camps: the sealed versus the marked. In Revelation, you either have the seal of God or the mark of the beast. There is no neutral ground. Now, in terms of Elon Musk, the loyal versus the traitor, in Musk's rhetoric, you either love the country or you are a traitor beneath contempt. See there? It's the same structure. Now, on the Mark Hamilton, the producer versus the neo-cheater. In Hamilton's philosophy, you are either a rational value producer or neo-thinker, or a parasitic mystic neo-cheater, which is what the Edomites are, all right, dude? So, in essence, whether viewed through a theological, political, or philosophical lens, all three concepts describe a high-stakes struggle where a dominant power structure uses an identity marker, loyalty, compliance, or a physical mark to completely separate the righteous from the corrupt, using total social and economic banishment as the penalty for dissent. So yeah, dude, we're here, man. You know. Let me see. Back here. So yeah, these Edomites, man, they're using, like I said, with the super puzzles. That's the swag that they stole from the Heavenly Father, where His scriptures say precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. These Edomites got puzzle pieces all over the world via like these puppets and signs. It's mainly that people where they're all over the world laying down pieces and building on those pieces, you know, if you will, like those pieces and those people, from like Mark Hamilton's literature to China's Neo brain chip to all the RFID chip manufacturing companies all over the world, where either in the company name or the name of their Neo chip or name of their RFID chip products, they got the word Neo on there. You know, which is for Neo, which means new. This is the new Babylon. America is the new Babylon, dude. So they're tapping into those old ancient customs and energies. Remember, Nimrod during the time of ancient Babylon was trying to construct the Tower of Babel. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord overthrew that. And what proves that these Edomites are the grand sorcerers and witches and warlocks of the world, here in America, you have places called Babylon. Mainly are up in New York. Just Google places in America named Babylon. And then you can also Google places here in America named Nimrod, because Nimrod was the king of Babylon during that time of the Tower of Babel that they were trying to establish. You know, before the Lord gave all the people different languages and then broke that shit up. He's going to do that here again, dude. All right, because the moment that they try to come after the Lord's elect, He's going to fuck them up, man. That's it. He's going to lift up a standard on the elect's behalf. And you fucking Edomites are fucking through. Give me this. Give me this. You hear me, boy? Your ass is through, man. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakudash. It's going to fucking kill you, nigga. Okay, so I got to talk kind of low. I'm in the library. So yeah, dude. You know, right now, the Most High's got the Spirit on me to really focus in and hone in on this Mark Hamilton character, puppet of the Rothschilds, because this New World Neo-think and this Neovia talk and this Neotech talk is a critical point of the Edomites trying to, you know, get their records and their information out there to those in the know about this Neotech New World Edomite order. All right. And I've read, you know, the Lord put the Spirit on me years ago, back from 2012 to 2014, to like really extensively read this guy's writings. And, you know, now in hindsight, I can see what the Lord is doing. I never understood that back when I was doing it, but the scriptures also say, you know, the Lord's thoughts are not our thoughts, you know. As heaven is higher than the earth, so is the Lord's thoughts over our thoughts. I didn't get it at the time when I was like involved, like reading his bullshit. But, you know, here it is, like I said, that was from 2014 or 2012 to 2014. Now here I am 12 years later, able to filter these through the scriptures, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So, dude, man, the Lord has got these heathens in slippery places. And I know the Lord knows you Edomites are fucking shaking in your boots, nigga. Good fucking for you, man. Yahweh Shai can't wait to get his hands on you motherfuckers, man. All right? So, fuck you niggas, man. So, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to my power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops, a great millstone who still teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect and hopeful elect scattered amongst the four corners of the earth. Hey, and for those of you that, you know, look like someone from the other 17 heathen nations, you might be an Israelite, because if you watch these videos, begin with Elder Apostle Tahar on down, and you're compelled to call upon the name of the Lord, you can see that something's wrong with the world. You agree that Esau is a so-called white man. You're an Israelite, dude. All right. And Lord willing, may you be of the elect. All right. So let me go ahead and give you the four channels of the four elder apostles of GMS, because the Lord gave them a larger portion of their spirit, a larger portion of his spirit. And they're covering, they got countless more videos. They've been doing this longer than me. And they got countless videos to answer any questions that you may have in your mind. So it begins as follows. Elder Apostle Tahar is, what is the 666 Mark II GMS truth? Elder Apostle Gabar is daily edification 4. Elder Apostle Rakal is GMS keep pushing on his page. You're going to have a picture of a so-called Seminole Indian with a feather hat on his YouTube page. Okay. Because Elder Apostle Rakal is a Reubenite. It's one of the warrior tribes of our family, okay? And then you have, last but certainly not least, Elder Apostle Ramlob, whose channel is GMS Info Doc Channel 12. And now 4 channels of 4 of the Connecticut bishops that I know off the rip is Jacob Barak 2. That's JACOB followed by the number 2. Then you have Disappoint the Wicked. On his YouTube page, he's going to have a picture of a so-called Negro boxer by the name of Jack Johnson. And you have Fire. The next channel is you have Fire Cures Leprosy. And then last but certainly not least, you have GMS at the Job too. So Lord willing, this video was edifying to those of you that find this video here. And like the brother says from GMS or from Friends of the Prophets YouTube channel, may the Lord be with us all in these trying times. And like GMS Hawaii always says, you know, Lord willing, we be some of these men, women, and children that make up the elect. Because, dude, I want to be of the elect so bad, you know. And those of you brothers and sisters and children that are sincere, I hope you are too, you know. So with that, Lord willing, the name of my channel is the m0tb is here too, and Disclosure of the Wicked. Lord willing, I'll be able to do this again. But for now, I'm gonna say Shalom.